Something miraculous happened yesterday. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. And actually, it's a very interesting one. I would say this is a sign from God. All right. Something speaking to what is going on right now in our country, obviously America. We had recently our president post something that's caused some backlash, and it's actually tied to that. And I don't think you can easily explain away this miracle. We're going to get into it in this video. We also have Michael J. Fox, something that he recently said, which is kind of funny, ironic. We'll get into that. We have also our president doing something rather interesting that might be a good sign. We'll get into that. We got actually a ton of other stuff, including what is really going on around us. Hollywood, we have Olivia Munn. We'll get into what she said, and also just a ton of other stuff. Let's just get going here. Let's start with Michael J. Fox. Hollywood actor Michael J. Fox, known for his role in Back to the Future, is speaking out against CNN for reporting 2 millions of people across the world that he had passed away. Do you switch on MSNBC or whatever they are calling themselves these days? I don't know if they mistypoed that or I don't know what's going on there. Fox, how do you react when you turn on the TV and CNN reporting your death? Do you switch to I think he means MSNBC or whatever they are calling themselves these days. Maybe he actually said it that way. Pour scalding hot water on your lap. If it hurts, you're fine. C, call your wife. Hopefully she's concerned but reassured. D, relax that they're just doing this once a year. E, ask yourself, WTF, I thought the world was ending, but apparently it's just me and I'm okay. Love, Mike. They're apparently saying he was dead when he's not dead. They apparently do this often. Like once a year, they'll say Michael J. Fox is dead. Of course, our president's been believing whatever CNN puts out of recent. They put out these polls. Look, he's got a slam dunk. Everybody loves what he's doing. You know, and I feel like they're doing that on purpose. Like CNN wants him to believe that literally everyone's behind everything he's been saying of recent. Why would they do that? Oh, I don't know. They're on the left. They want him to assume everything's fine so that the midterms come and he loses the midterms. Maybe something to think about instead of just believing whatever polls CNN puts out, right? Obviously, CNN also putting out that Michael J. Fox is dead when he isn't. Obviously, the movie Back to the Future is one of his awesome movies. Apparently, he can also play the guitar, which is pretty cool. Where was that? It's down here. Yeah, check this out. This is pretty crazy. He's actually pretty good. Of course, I don't know if there's going to be a copyright, so. That's the thing you got to love about YouTube. 7 seconds. Copyright. On your 30-minute video, 7 seconds of music, they get all your money now. That's how it works, apparently. You have here Harrison Smith. A miracle that happened. Mere hours before, our president named Alex in his post saying that he was a traitor, that he had hated him for years. Alex, of course, for literally a decade, had been promoting our president and honestly almost lost his entire everything. He lost almost his network. He got kicked off a number of platforms, all for trying to promote our current president. And then our president comes out yesterday with a post saying that Alex is a joke, essentially, and a third-rate podcaster, and that he betrayed him years ago, which is not the case. So what's really bizarre is this miracle that happened, and it's actually positive towards both Alex and our president. It shows you really what's going on. It shows you that God is in control. Check this out. It's pretty crazy. Actually, let me just show you what it says here. I'm sorry to tell Trump supporters, but mere hours before being attacked, Alex Jones was literally endorsed by God in an unambiguous miracle. And it is pretty crazy. Check this out.
All right, I want to explain what happened today because I'm pretty sure it was a miracle. So Alex Jones is on with this preacher,
Pastor James Williams Darkwater,
in the context of Alex Jones recently starting to criticize Trump more and break from Trump more. And essentially they're praying for Trump.
Trump's turned it around before. It can be done. Yeah. So We have to battle for him. Watch this. I'm going to give you another scripture.
So they start reading this one Bible verse, and it's about how you're supposed to be a battle axe for God.
Thou art my battle axe and my weapon of war. What has Donald Trump been doing on behalf of this nation? He's a battle axe of the Lord.
And the preacher is going on about the battle axe as a symbol.
Alex, you're a battle axe. Just running around wrecking everybody. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a battle axe. Every Christian is called to be one of the Lord's battle axes.
It's all about this battle axe metaphor. And this battle axe arrives at the office the moment they're talking about it. Rob Dew just like takes it in.
He just walked in. This was delivered to the door by FedEx 2 minutes ago. You talk about a biblical sign. This was just delivered.
And he's like, what just happened? Like, this just got delivered
2 minutes ago. Rob, you just ran in here. What? You got a letter. What does this say? I mean, this is biblical. This is how God works. Somebody got touched by God. I'm crying right now. To mail this. This literally just showed up FedEx. Rob, come here. Sit down. Let's read this. What the hell's going on here? He just said, literally, as you said, battle axe, FedEx arrived. What the? This is
so. And Rob's like, yeah. And he opens up the letter, and it's a letter from a guy.
He's an old carpenter and craftsman. And I was making this axe, and God told me it was for Alex Jones. It's literally what it says right there. I mean, it says it right there.
Fire burn.
Put it right there.
You just saw this. Is this insane?
This is your battle axe. Let me remind you that God loves you and gives you strength and courage. The best to you as you move along in this crazy world.
Like, you could not have scripted it better.
God bless you.
Look at this.
Ken.
This literally, he's literally talking about this, and this literally gets, he said, delivered to you right as he came on. I mean, this is insane.
I mean, it was insane to witness. It was.
This is how God works. Go ahead. Look at this.
Like, seemed miraculous at the time.
No, I just got it and walked in here. I'm like, this needs to go on the air. It was a sign from God.
And then like 3 hours later, Donald Trump launches this attack on Alex, where he calls him stupid. It's like, I'm glad he's been ruined. I'm glad he was bankrupt. It was a vicious attack predicated on Alex Jones turning on him and attacking, and he's as good as the left or whatever it is. Which is like.
And now we intercede on the behalf of our president, Donald J. Trump. Everyone must join us in praying for Trump right now. We're going to break this demonic spell right now. In the name of Jesus. It doesn't matter if Trump gets off track. He belongs to God. He's going to do his job if we back him.
Is that attacking Trump? Is praying for Trump and saying we think he's on the wrong track, but we got to get him back on the right track? Does that deserve to, for a guy to say, he thinks he deserves your children to lose their inheritance? And it was after that, I was talking to one of the editors, and he was like, yeah, I think that battle axe was like a gift from God. He was like, I think that was God assuring Alex he was on the right track.
Perfectly arrives right as you're talking about it.
This is kind of amazing, actually, man. So this, of course, was delivered 2 minutes. 2 minutes, or actually literally when they started talking about it, right when they started, when this pastor started talking about a battle axe for the Lord, this gets delivered at the exact same time to them. And I just thought that was rather amazing miracle that this happened. And it shows you what's really going on. Obviously, everyone can see through what's going on. I mean, of all the people on the list that our president went after the other day, this was the one that really bothered me the most. Like, out of all the people on the list, clearly the one that's been defending our president the most out of all these people is Alex, just hands down. Not even close. I mean, Megyn Kelly's been against him and almost always has been against him for the most part. And she's kind of went back and forth a little bit. Candace has went back and forth numerous times. Tucker, I think he also went back and forth. I don't know. He clearly was not someone defending our president when everybody was trying to cancel him back in 2015, like Alex was. Alex was literally lost his whole entire, of course, platform. Even on this website I'm on right now. Back in like 2015 or 17, I don't even remember when it was. It was a long time ago. For just simply defending our president and saying we should try to get him in. So I thought that was rather amazing. I wanted to present that to you guys because I thought that was really interesting. Obviously, with all this chaos going on around us, you're wondering where it's kind of like in the movie Lord of the Rings when the Fellowship of the Ring falls apart. And you're like, where's God in this? Where's the goodness in this? What's going on here? Everything's falling apart. He's still in control, obviously. God is still in control. And who is the one that who's the one whispering in our president's ear to put this out, to put this message out on Truth Social? None other than Laura here, Loomer. This reminded me of a prophecy from Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor is the one who predicted our current president. He predicted that he would get in he predicted I think it was 2009 or something. I can't remember the exact year, but it was way before he ran. He predicted that Trump would be president. Okay? Way before he was even running or anything. And he has also a number of other predictions. And one of his predictions from 2021 kind of fits the situation, I think. Let's see if we can get this on the screen the way I want it to be. Here we are. Okay, so this has to do with wolves in sheep's clothing. The Spirit of God says the prophets and priests have prophesied by Baal, committed adultery with Jezebel, prophesied dreams and visions from their own heart. Repent, you build your kingdoms to bring glory to yourselves versus glory to me. The Spirit of God says another betrayal from the president's spiritual advisory board has taken place. Jezebel whispers, it's complete. We have the king's ear. I control who speaks to the king. No true prophet of the living God will ever reach him. Only my soothsayers will speak. The betrayer sits at the king's table. If this is not true, I don't know what is. All the people around him are like devils whispering in his ear. Seems like most of them, almost all of them, they've convinced him that his base is all on board with everything he's saying. All the people that actually helped getting him in are now his enemies. Reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings where the sorcerer puts a spell on the king and then there's this guy whispering in his ear, just telling him what to do. I don't have the picture in front of me. I'm sure you've seen it before. The guy looks like he's all messed up because like the king has got some spell on him. And it reminds me also of Saul in the Bible, where Saul doesn't do what God says, and next thing you know, there's a curse on him. It reminds me of a lot of different stories from the Bible, actually. But is not Laura Loomer one of these two series? Paula White is one. She was doing such a terrible job, they had to actually delete the video. Here is the video of Paula White. She was announcing our president and comparing him to Jesus. And she went so over the top, they ended up deleting this video because it was so ridiculous sounding the way she was talking. And she's now, of course, called a pastor when she's actually a prosperity preacher, not a real pastor. She should not be head of the advisory board. And as I showed you with this prophecy here, it seems to be so much more true day by day. The soothsayers will speak to him. The betrayer sits at the king's table. All he'll hear is lies from people that want to twist his mind and take him in the wrong direction. Among his advisors, he needs to remove almost all these advisors, I would say. Probably almost all of them are terrible. Saying things to twist him into the wrong direction, away from his base, and some of the promises he made. Although we do have some good news, it does look like our president might be, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks kind of intriguing. I think he wants this whole Iran thing over with very quickly. He's now sent J.D. Vance apparently to negotiate this. The world's most powerful reset, he called it. J.D. Vance departs for peace talks in Pakistan with, of course, Iran. And so that is some good news, hopefully. We have here a clip about this from the day before, how they didn't want to send J.D. Vance at first, but then now they are.
Flurry of developments happening in this U.S.-Iran. It's a fragile ceasefire. It's later in the day there, obviously. They're 7.5 hours ahead, I believe you said. So we are waiting to see how this is going to go. There's a question about the Pakistani prime minister. He helped negotiate the ceasefire. He posted this just moments ago. Violations of ceasefire have been reported at a few places across the conflict zone, which undermine the spirit of the peace process.
Then that's the issue with this. So, I mean, a lot of the issue is the two countries fighting, the two main countries, Iran and, of course, Israel. They both tend to have this problem of not keeping their word and changing their mind and being erratic when it comes to things like this, unfortunately. And I feel like our president basically got the hot potato you can't get rid of right? Hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully he does actually bring about peace in this situation and it's finally over with and doesn't end up becoming something that never ends, right? At any rate, you get the idea. So we got that story. Also, I wanted to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 3 months worth. $7.97 includes the free Mega Protein Kit. Might want to get that considering all the stuff going on around us. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House as they did in the old days. Hundreds of pages illustrated. I mean, it pretty much tells you how to do anything you would need to know how to do if you had an extended period of time without power. And you see all the insanity going on around us. It's always wise to be prepared. $37. Get the printed version, of course. Check out all my other social media, my website, membership site. I got 2 different websites. I also am on X. We're now starting to make a little bit of headway there. When I post, it sometimes goes somewhere. Got like, I think the video that I put up on YouTube got like 90,000 views so far, and the one on X got about 24,000 views. So X is actually starting to go somewhere, which is good, finally. So that's cool. But anyway, you get the idea. So we got all that stuff going on. Let's just get back to the video here. We have, what do we got next? We got here, and I wanted to kind of pivot into another topic a little bit. What's really going on with our country? What's going on with our society, our culture? Olivia Munn says male co-star refused to film scene being saved by woman and stopped production for 45 minutes. She can't save me. We're not doing this. Why? And so, of course, she's looking at this like, this is terrible. Why did he do this? This is horrible. And it may have something to do with the fact that all the movies these days are trying to make it like Girl Boss. Girl Boss saves the day and no one wants to watch it. That's the entire point. You know, it was okay when you had it once in a while. Back in the old days in the 90s or early 2000s, 80s, you might have Sigourney Weaver or something against aliens. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. The one movie out of 10 that has a woman as the hero, you're fine with it in that situation. Not 9 out of 10 women, the hero, and 1 out of 10 men, usually never white, of course. That's what it is today. See what I mean? A little bit of a difference. People are noticing this difference where they're trying to basically indoctrinate us with some BS, pretty much is what it is. And it comes back to what's really wrong with our world. And it comes, so I saw these videos over on this channel called Lungs of Faith. He's like a newer channel and he's getting a lot of views. And it's about this dynamic. How did this all start? What caused this? And it's actually something that was put in, institutionalized through our entire society by those at the top. They put it into our seminaries, into our colleges. Check this out.
I'll say the quiet part out loud that nobody wants to say. According to the data, the ideological shift is overwhelmingly happening on the female side, not the male side.
But I'm always, I think I'm just too old or something. I'm like, why isn't anyone married? You tell me, why aren't people married?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's the women. The women are extremely liberal. No one.
So check this out. Let's go look at this graph again. Right here. So look, the men are literally sideways. And where are the women going? But how do they frame this in our society? How does the media frame this? The media frames it as if the men are going down like this while the women are staying sideways. They frame it like men are becoming very, very crazy and oh, they're going to the right all the way, extreme and all this kind of stuff, right? And the women are just being normal, nothing changing there whatsoever. But in reality, it's the exact opposite. And the reason why is because they started with the females and got them to change first, and then the men are not coming along for the ride, so now they're trying to basically guilt you into it. Oh, look, men are terrible. Oh, it's your fault. That's why it's like this. That's exactly what's going on.
Not the male side.
But I'm always, I think I'm just too old or something. I'm like, why isn't anyone married? You tell me, why aren't people married?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's the women. The women are extremely liberal. No one talks about that, especially after the last election. There's a 45-point difference.
The reason for that is not what you think. Here's where things get interesting and honestly a little bit bizarre, because baked into this narrative of men becoming misogynists and radicalized is a paradox that I'm about to expose to you. The story you always hear is the same. Men are becoming radicalized. Men are falling into...
Yeah, this is how they always paint it. when in reality it's the exact opposite. And how did this happen? Right? Well, it's kind of interesting. I was shocked by this. See, I'm older. I'm 50 now. I turned 50. Some of you are probably younger than me. Some of you are older than me that watch. Notice how much the demographics have changed. So I watched one of his videos, and he showed that now, apparently, this is just Christian men. Christian men. 40%, 48% of Christian men are okay with abortion. 49% are okay with gay marriage. That's men, Christian men, in the age demographic of 18 to 29. Christian women, 61%. And 75% gay marriage, 18 to 29 years old. This is, we're not talking regular, random American. We're talking Christian, or they claim to be Christian. Right? See what I'm getting at? Now, my age bracket, probably nothing remotely close to this. Definitely a lot smaller amount range, not this. I know that. I don't know what it would be, but it definitely wouldn't be this. Probably be, I don't know. I can't guess. I would have to go look it up, but I'm sure it's a lot less than this. So my point is that we don't, it's just like Tuckmeister there. He's clueless. He's like, oh, what's going on? I thought it's just like normal. No, it isn't. It's changing with the younger generation. Because it keeps shifting. Why? Because this all started back in the 1960s. They started it on Easter Day, by the way. They started it on Easter Day in a Catholic church where the women were protesting wearing head coverings. And they wore something else that day. And it was funded by these guys at the top. The Roth, of course, Child, Feller, all these guys were funding this garbage to change our society. And then they fund all these people going into seminaries. They provide the scholastic, the educational materials. They taint it with their organizations and things like that. Let's see here. Is this the one I wanted to show you? Check this out.
The Foundation's own programs made this concrete. The Henry R. Luce Professorship Program is the most notable, which launched in 1968, and it installed 71 professorships at 56 universities across the United States. These endowed chairs were explicitly created to, quote-unquote, encourage academic experimentation and creativity, and to support, quote-unquote, innovative interdisciplinary teaching and learning. In practice, rewarding scholars who advanced religious pluralism, democratic internationalism, and a more adaptive, less dogmatic faith, particularly within evangelical seminaries and Protestant schools. They didn't stop at individual chairs. The Foundation also ran the Henry Luce III Fellows in Theology program from 1993 to 2018, which funded 160 faculty members in theological schools for research that strengthened, quote-unquote, the links among theological research, churches, and wider public. Even more targeted, the Luce Foundation gave a major grant to Columbia University to establish the Center for the Study of Democracy, Toleration, and Religion, CDT.
So they're all doing this sort of like liberalizing of things, and they actually fund it. These people at the top are funding this, and they've been funding it for 50, 60, 70 years, and it gradually over time it gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. They also happen to own the media. They happen to own everything, and this is how they're doing it. This is how they're bringing this stuff to pass. Now, interestingly, of course, who is funding this? Well, obviously those at the top, but they tend to be certain people, and we've already covered some of their names. But now we're seeing a lot of people fighting over this. We see it on X a lot. People are talking about this topic of a certain country and people from that country that tend to be in the higher elite status. I think you know what I'm referring to. One from the Middle East. And now they're actually fighting online about this. Of course, not everybody at the top is from this country. We all know that. But there's a large percentage of them that are. So they definitely have some influence. And we have seen patterns like this in the past where they want us to go away from our religion. They want us to go away from the idea of nationalism. They want us to stop being men. All these type of things. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Makes you kind of wonder what's really going on here. But at any rate, we need to understand what this is all about. We need to be able to fight against some of this stuff and put out the truth. I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.